Yo, we are in the lab. We're in the, oh no, we're not in the lab. We're in the Bat Cave. Oh no, not the Bat Cave. We are in the Wolverine Cave. That's where we are, the Wolverine Cave. And guess what? Because we're in the Wolverine Cave, guess what? I gotta wear the Warriors. I gotta wear the what? I cannot be in the Wolverine Cave or the Bat Cave and not wearing the Warriors. And so, bam. Yeah, special guest. All our guests are special here on Run Tell That. We got my brother. This is somebody who knows me. Who knows me. This is family right here. We go way back. We have Apostle John Cox. Some of y'all know him as Dada. Again, our own brother. Some of y'all even know him as Black Jesus. Because again, now we go way back from the west side to the east side. Because we would travel from the west side, going over to Fraser home, going over to Fred Russell, his village, and playing basketball on Crawford Square and all that. And we would bring the funk to them from off the west side. See, because we just like to say the west side. We would come over there. My brother, Apostle John Cox, glad to have you here, brother.
Thank you very much, young man. It's an honor to be surrounded by your wisdom and knowledge, man, and to partake of the greatness that you're doing in the community. So I am blessed to be a part of this environment that you have created to put forth information to the community.
It is absolutely a blessing to have you on here because, again, like I tell folks that I said people who know me, they know the deal. They know Bubba, they know Lil Claude, they know Claude Lee, they know all that. Something that's special to me because they help make me who I am. You want people to help make me who I am because I think about them nights walking from the west side to Fred Russell, walking to his village or walking from there at night back to the west side, and that we were all together. Again, some things that some of us tend to miss today, but we're all together. And so, my brother, I'm going to throw it out there, ask you this question. Who are you? Apostle Cox, who are you?
To sum it up, I'm a man after God's own heart. Some people consider me a hood pastor because I go out into the communities, I support my people. But when it boils down, I'm just a servant of God, someone who is trying his best to make an impact on the lives of our young people and to promote excellence in their life structures. So when you put it all, I'm just a family man, a man of God, a man who loves people. And at my age, it's time to put back what some of the great leaders of the community had put into my spirit as I was growing up. So I'm just following the legacy that was established from 1979 up until this point.
Nah, Apostle Cox, you ain't got to be talking about, say, not at your age or stuff like that. We ain't got to be going there like that.
Hey, I'm proud of my 58 years.
I was just see that one day. Ooh, Lord, that what happened on my talent. That one, see. All right. So my brother also gonna ask this question: Who your people? Who your people? You know how we gonna say? Who your people? Who your people?
My people are those who are in my communities, in my Christian environments, in my economical, structural environments. My people are those who reflect my image and those who understand what it means for us to embrace one another. Those are my people. I don't reject anyone, but I try my best to embrace people of color so that we can come to a level of love, unity, and understanding so we can be more progressive in our communities.
All right. So who's your family? I was like, who's your family? Who people in your family? Cause you know how that's how we gonna recognize people. Oh, that's so and so brother, right? That's so and so sister, right? That's so and so uncle, and they granddad. So yeah, who your people?
Well, I have a large family here in Savannah when we talk biological. About my mother is no longer here, but she left a legacy of, I think I got grand nieces and nephews to the third generation. I'm a father of three, a granddad of four, and my kingdom family is those who come into the formality of God's will, and that's practically anyone who has a desire for God. And you have to always dissect the two. So I got a host of nieces who have businesses, and just being proud of the way my mother raised us and the people that I came in contact, because I always got my Upward Bound family. So I'll never forget my Upward Bound family. So one of my brothers in Christ, Brother Kernard, passed recently, and it was like I lost a true brother, because of the connection that we had with the Upward Bound family. So, there go three parts of a family structure that I'm a part of.
That's right. That's it. Now we say the journey of life. That's it. So now, my brother, we move to this right. Who inspires you? Or what inspires you?
Wow, that's a long list, brother. Uh,
Throw it on out there.
my
So yeah.
mother, my grandmother inspired me when I was coming up. My father, my stepfather, the men and women in the Fred Western communities, the Upward Bound, Miss Mobley, Miss Tyson, all the councils, Brother Elijah West, Clarence Outler, uh, one of my college professors, the late great Jaja Harness, Dr. Stevens, yourself, uh, Mayor Anderson, Otis Jackson. When we say inspire, I mean, I've always been around people that were always pushing us past the envelope. And now today, I just focus more on the inspiration of the community because, even though we got a lot of issues, but the community inspires me to be more progressive and more compassionate towards people. So every day I'm inspired by just seeing God's will being done and having people like yourself, Brother Julius, who has a platform that opens up to the development, to the mindset of our culture. So all these things come into a universal inspiration that I embrace dearly and I take it not lightly. So there's a lot of inspiration universally, just in contacting people daily.
No, you ain't got to say nothing about Julius. You ain't got to say nothing about Julius. Because it's already, you can't even imagine what we got to do with Julius anyway. Julius think he all that anyway. Julius think he's all that anyway. So you can't imagine. By you saying that right now, all that did was just push it up a notch. And I'm like, oh my God, the stuff we're gonna deal with. Oh Lord. Yeah, we'll move on. So all right. So my brother, what song or songs give you that song that when you hear that song, it gives you that feeling like, woo, that it just turns around and like make you elevate.
I tell you, I play this song every day I go into my worship portal. It's two songs, one by Shekinah Glory, uh, Jesus, and When You Say Yes, and my favorite gospel artist, Jekyll and Carr, with Jehovah Jireh. I mean, that song, it propels you above your brokenness, you know, and it is such a powerful message of how God, you know, God shows his reflected love to you daily. And I'm telling you, when I get into my prayer and to my praise, which I do that practically every day, and even when I'm in my most darkest moment, a broken moment, I
Yes.
just go back to Shekinah Glory with Kim Stratton with a song called Broken. And I'm telling you, it's a song that it lifts you up till you think you're invincible with God. You think you can go out there like David used to go out and fight and slay those who come against him. So those two songs have such great uh, harmonious spiritual impact on my praise and worship life to the point those are the best two songs that I embrace daily.
All right, absolutely. So that's why for the run tell that audience, we say to y'all share, share, share. And again, as always, you not provide with some other people songs that they can go get that inspiration too, that they can be motivated to. And that's why I let y'all notice there is a show that's being promoted by Our Black Media and also ATR is called From the Hood to the Pulpit. From the Hood to the Pulpit. One of the people that will be on there handling From the Hood to the Pulpit is a John Cox, one of the people. I'll be on there also, along with Reverend Leonard Smalls and Julius Hall too. But you know, I'm just
Brother Julius, wonderful man.
oh, Jesus, Jesus, oh my God. Okay, let me get it together. Rewind. Okay, Apostle Cox, what is spirituality to you? What is spirituality to you?
Spirituality is a unique blend of your desire
Mm, mm,
to want to know God more.
mm, mm,
And
mm,
in that portal or that presence, it causes you to be connected universally to all the essence of God's power, his majesty, his grace. And
mm.
then it involves the deepest level of your meditation towards love. That's the key to spirituality. It's the love of God and the love for the people of God, and to embrace all of that so that the Holy Spirit inspires you. It takes you to a dimension. It's an area of a dimension that it breaks down all your barriers and
Okay.
exposes all your flaws so that you can embrace the deepest things of God. And
Mm,
I think a lot of times, to be honest with you, a lot of us struggle to get to that point
mm, mm.
because we compel ourselves to feel we're not worthy. But when you are in that secret place, it goes beyond your common understanding.
Mm,
Sometimes it scares you because your mind cannot really picture the greatness of that connection with
mm,
God. And even when God reveals us through our ancestral beliefs and embracing the things that our ancestors, and we be awed by it because we pick up their spirits, and their spirits
mm,
is like a guiding light for God to
mm,
let us
mm,
travel some roads and reject others. And that understanding, brother, is deeper than just trying to express it. That's how beautiful it is.
mm. Okay.
So that's why I say that spirituality is. And I found the development of mine when my mother passed, I really got to know the crevices of the knowledge of God to be able to accept what God has for me to do. And once you connect with that within the realms of your spiritual growth, it becomes a beautiful process with rocky roads. So that's it. That's the best way I can explain that.
Yes, sir, brother. And I tell you what, so the connection with regard to just like we talked with regard to the ancestors and with regard to the Most High. Just like this morning during my state, we call it sleep, but then also I tell folks that's when sometimes when the Most High is coming and communicating with you, and I had this vision, this dream that I said to people that I said that I have to fulfill the obligations of my ancestors or my grandmama or my granddaddy that I have, because people view my granddaddy like this, then I want to be like that. I want to ascend to that level because they view my grandmama like this. I want to ascend to that. They view my daddy like that. I want to ascend to that. They view my mama like that. I want to ascend to that. My grand aunts. And that was again, and that came to me this morning saying that that is a part of what I must be about. I must be about ascending to where they are and having again the feeling that the community have for them, that the people have for them, and the respect that they have for them. Then that's what I must be about. I must be about that walk. And so when you said that, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's it. And so now
Yeah.
we're going to go into another thing about transcending. My brother, Apostle Cox, I am told that I need to wait to get to heaven to experience the joys. I should wait to get to heaven to experience the joy. Can I experience the joy here and not just wait to get to heaven? What's your thoughts on that?
Most definitely. Most definitely. You can have the most heavenly experience in the worst situations. The prime example, when Christ went to the pits of hell, he did not lose his heavenly aspirations. So we as men and women of God is that once we come to that connected level of our spiritual, and we put in our mind that we are of Christ, we are of God, that we can enjoy the great things that are promised us, because some people say there will be a heaven on earth. So even as Jesus prepared a pathway for us, he left us with a greatest abundance through his death and his resurrection. So you can live a life without miserableness. You can live a life without complication. It's how you accept the roadblocks that comes. And then in a brief description, when I preach, I tell them, look at the river. The river gives you the most prominent aspect of the movement of God to bring you to a level of peace. See, the river going to have trees fall in it, but you ever notice the river does not stop. It keeps flowing, and it comes a pathway where it comes and expands to a big ocean or a sea. So when we allow our spirit to take us to that aspect, your heaven can be right here on earth. It's determining how much you trust God and how you have faith that all things are possible through Christ. And once we become obedient and submissive and committed, the faith blends in with that, and the Holy Spirit makes sure that our life is what? Comforting. So we have to understand that even though we are in a wicked world, because some of my best days on the earth when I'm just home playing with my dog in the backyard, I don't have to worry about stuff outside of my realm of peace. So that's where I feel I'm in a heavenly position, because I'm not going to worry about things that I can't control, you know. And when we bother ourselves with the issues of the world, that we have to use common sense, Brother Toure, but you can put yourself within your mindset to be at peace with anything. And that's it. The basic gift God gave us was common sense. So yes, you don't have to wait to the time of the coming of Christ. You can enjoy heaven right here on earth, preparing yourself for the 5-star heaven. Right here, we at second star. So yes, you can have your heaven right here on earth. You can have your peace, you can have your joy, you can have all those things, because God said these things are given unto you. So it's all about you being obedient and attentive to God's will. And that's basically, I tell people that all the time.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you are known as basically as the street or the hood preacher, the hood minister, the hood clarion call. You are the one that touched the people in the community. You go to the people in the community. So how did you get to this point in your spiritual practice? How do you get to this point, this level in your spiritual practice? How do you evolve to that?
You know, even though when I was growing up in from my family structure on my father's and my grandmother, they were always community people.
All right.
And, you know, when I moved to Savannah, even though I lived in the projects, it wasn't like I was in the project because I didn't really know what poverty was. And then when I went to college and got on Upward Bound and I saw people committed to making sure that I got out of the hood without prison or anything like that. And my mother was my first teacher of godliness. And when I met other people, I said to myself, I always had a heart of helping people. And in the last 12 years, I've been more adamant to reaching out, doing toy drives for people who can't afford toys, feeding the 500 people as a part of my ministry, and helping other churches. And it's just in my heart. I mean, it's like I've been born to do this. And as God is telling me that, to take it to a higher level, is connecting with other people who are doing the same thing. Because to move up and to do this type of work, you gotta love people, because going out there in that hood, it ain't easy. We're about to go on Highway 17 by the 2 hotels, because I went out there one day with a partner and I saw these little children barely eating. I saw mothers evicted from their homes, got to do all kinds of things to keep them. So that hurts me when I see the young men, getting murdered in the streets, and it just makes me cry out to God, because it's like the children are suffering. And when 2 things I hate, to see a woman being downtrodden and children suffering, because it just in me, and I'm just coming into that branch of connection that going out is like a peace that surpasses my understanding. And, you have to really, to do that, you have to really love Jesus, because you're going to meet all kind of obstacles. And, we're putting together something now that we are going to do a kids day, where we just let the kids come out and enjoy being a kid, because they don't get to do that in the communities no more. We got to go outside, shoot ball, play half rubber in the streets. It's hard for a child to even sit on the porch now. So we want to make a change with that. We want to get a force of people who just really want to show love. And I think that's the key, showing them that there's love in places they didn't expect. And that's why I go out in the hood.
And yes, sir, absolutely. And that's what, again, when you said that you're going to see this, you go on Highway 17, you see this in various parts of the city, of the county, and you see the trauma that's going on. You see what people have to do, what people are breaking down, the spirits of them. And that's what some of they tell them, well, it get better when you get to heaven. And I might say, no, it's supposed to be better for them right here, that we're supposed to be looking out for one another. And so that's why this next topic for you, brothers, is this. What are our obligations? What are our obligations to our brothers and our sisters?
Our obligation, and I think God reveals this in the book of Hebrews, we have to show brotherly love as though we are in that position. We should embrace it as though it's us. Like when you go out to these communities, and you see these young women getting put out, evicted. You see children begging solidly to eat. You see the homeless caught up in a mythical mindset where they feel as though there's no love for them. And we live in such a judgmental society, is that we have to come from under our umbrella of this cause and go forth and make it our life obligation. It's not a burden if you do it in love. And it's not a sacrifice because you're enjoying helping someone because someone helped you.
Right.
You're just giving back what God sowed in your life. Help. I don't think it's one of us who can say, I did it by myself.
Absolutely.
And you gotta have that love, brother. You gotta love it because it's a joy to go out there and you see people coming from out of the woods, out of the shadows of society, trembling in hunger, broken, feeling demolished spiritually. And believe it or not, that hug, that smile, that hot meal, it's like it's an extra level of inspiration where they figure, I can get out of this. You don't have to toot your own horn. You don't have to publicize it. All you have to do is just do it. And when you do that, when you go out, even if you have to go by yourself, I tell you, one of the things that really propelled me to this, my brother, I was working in Atlanta in the 5 Point Station, and one 4th of July, and I had to do the night shift. And I looked out the office, the vestibule window, and I saw a lady come from behind a tree. She started digging behind Hooters and Kenny's Alley. She was putting chicken that people left in the containers. You know how when we go out and party, we might leave from, and she wiped it off. And she cleaned out 2 dirty containers. I said, why she got 2? And she put the fork, the napkin, and the spoon on the side like a regular table setup. And I saw a little 6-year-old girl come from behind the tree. And when they sat down, they did their prayer. And our position was to never let the homeless inside the building. And I had to violate that because I would let them sleep in the bathroom at night. And when I tell you, when I saw that, it had hurt me because there were a Black mother with a little daughter, and society had just kicked them to the curb. But when I saw them pray, I said, Lord, I got to do something if it ain't much. And that tore me up, man. And when I came back to Savannah, that's when I created the ministry Feed the 500. So,
all right,
you know, those things give us that commitment to help our brothers and sisters.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so now I throw it out there to you. What is empowerment to you? What does empowerment means to you? What does empowerment mean to you?
You know, I really had, when you sent me that, you know, I look at it that empowerment meaning providing, prevailing, provoking, permitting, and preserving your authority to make an impact economically, spiritually, socially, and just as a person to put back the things that you and God is giving you to make our community better.
Okay.
And that's when we become empowered through unity, love, and knowledge. Because a fool can make a decision, but a man with understanding can make an impact. And that's what empowers us to go forth. I don't get too political, but I watch a lot of the candidacies and the things of people. And once you learn from your mistakes, you can go back and put forth that in within yourself, because you have to empower yourself first. You can't be out there barely holding on and you trying to bring somebody up. But that's my aspect of it. I really thought about that, because I really hadn't to think about that since college, you know. You know, and Dr. John used to ask us those questions about, you know, and I thought about it. That's what made me think about Dr. John Johannes today, because he used to always say, you know, about empowering people and all that. And it really made, you know, you get some thoughts that you just don't be carry your mind. But today, when you sent me that question, I say, boy, I tell you. But that's what we need. You know, we can get the right political people to understand that. which they're always too far away from the truthfulness of what's needed in the communities. But that's pretty much wrap it up.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
might
Yes.
run from here.
That's right. I mean, and that's what has to happen. I mean, that's the realness that we talk about. We have to be the ones because we've seen it. And just throw it out there. Some people to run tell their family. Y'all heard me talk about that. We have people here who grew up here, and they saw stuff. They saw the unfairness when they were children, when they were adolescents, when they were teenagers, when they graduated from high school. They saw the unfairness. Then they go to college. They graduate from college. They still saw the unfairness. Then what happened? They're now young adults, and guess what? They now begin to have children and have families, and they're married, still seeing the unfairness. Now they're in their careers and they are now working, raising families, and so now what happened? They now about to retire. They still see the unfairness. So yes, that's why it becomes a call for.
You know what I thought about it. And like I tell people, because some people think I'm a radical racist when I say this, because I have to look after my people first. But in my mindset, because I was preaching this for 4 years now, when it comes to the Black community in America, we just have to shut down. The greatest power is in our silence and our lack of movement. Let me express it to you.
All right,
I have a movement called the 72 Hours of Power. They always call us lazy what? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Shut it down. For 72 hours. Don't go to work. Don't shop at their stores. Don't use social media. Don't go to the gas stations. Just stay home, cut your lights off, cut your water off. Go into an isolated state. In 72 hours, America will crumble if the Black community just shut it down. I've been receiving that spiritually for the last 4 years. Because in order for you to get, you got to give yourself the opportunity to make a hereditary legacy impact on the oppressors of the communities. Martin Luther clearly said they gave us everything except economical power.
That's right.
And in order for us to regain that statue, all we have to do is shut it down. 72 hours, we will change the entire narrative of the world.
All right.
72 hours without us, they cannot survive. But because we worry about the light bill, we look at what we are going through in our communities now. Even in our city, everybody who we trusted has done what? Turn their back against us. You know, they only want us when they need us for political gain. Then they turn their backs on us. Even up to the White House, they don't give us because we don't demand. We speak about it, but we don't make an impact about it. We can march on Washington with 10 million. That's not going to get it. But if we stop being in that slave mentality, I got to go flip Pastor burgers, I got to go flip master this and that, and we just shut it down, 72 hours is all it takes for the African American community to rise above the ashes of disgrace. I truly believe that with all my heart and soul, because when Nat Turner approached it, what happens? One of us told on him. But when we do it on a level worldwide, we will see the impact. Our communities will rise above the ashes. If we don't get them out, brother, if we don't get the toxic ones out of the communities, if we don't come forward and provide those who are destroying the core of our communities, we're going to still suffer. And that's why when you saw generation after generation, level after level, no matter how high we rise, we are never equal to the least of what they reveals to us.
Okay.
And it's scriptural.
Okay.
It's biblical.
Yes, sir.
What did God tell Moses? Get my people from amongst them.
Mm-hmm.
And they established economical power because God told them to go back and borrow everything they had, the deeds of the land. So if you dead and gone, you can't collect nothing. See, so that's what I say about this community thing, man, and how we help each other. Is first we got to learn to love each other. That's our biggest failure. We hate each other, and that's the way they provoked us to do. They gave us that mentality through social media, through promoting this, to developing the spirit of feminists and all these different things. And bam, here we are, fools running amongst to slaughter. So that's basically how I look at it. It sounds kind of radical, but that's it in a nutshell.
Okay. Okay. And PE said, Public Enemy said, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down.
Hey, we ain't shut them down yet. And Malcolm say by any means necessary. So we have to, this is what the city and the nation needs, a very transparent platform that we can be genuine. Because I ain't got nothing to gain. It ain't like nobody paying me for no commercials or nothing. It's just the genuineness of you knowing my people need help. And you have to go out there and do your part. Yeah. Everybody do a little part, it becomes a big thing. So that's basically that.
That's right. Forming a web of goodness to surround the evil. So, my brother, this is what some people say to me. I believe in God, and I pray. Prayer and God will take care of it. Prayer and God will take care of it. I don't need to worry about man and woman, but prayer and God will take care of it. What's your thoughts with regards to that?
Well, I'm going to tell you that's the truest thing you can say on any platform is prayer connects you with God. And, I done got comfortable with my relationship with Jesus that I go to him straight up. I don't go all that la 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 ba sha ma da no. I'm like, yo, God, look here, man, I'm struggling. You're asking me to do this, and I don't really want to do it, to be honest with you, but because I'm being obedient, I'm going to do it. And I had learned that from studying Paul with Ananias. Paul was going to kill Ananias, and God asked Ananias to do something to help Paul. And like most African Black people, I was saying, God, something must be wrong with you. This man coming to kill me. So when you get into prayer, you have to surrender everything of you and let it be God's will. And you cannot beat that combination. Trusting God and praying. That's where you get your heaven on earth. That's where you come to that place when you just say, hey, when I see some of your videos and you vibrant about your, the school you went to, that old HBJ. And when you out there in the field and you going out there, you helping with I see you out there being a farmer. And these things, that's your heaven, man. And you go up there to your school, you love the school, you so putting it out there, and everybody's like, oh man, this man here really enjoying that. And people admire you for that. Even though they might say, HBJ the best in the city, but I ain't getting into that. But they admire your energy when they see that. Hey. I had to get you on that one, brother. I mean, that's just where, that's that connection that gives you that heaven on earth through your prayer life, through your relationship with God, Jehovah.
That was going to be the last question I was going to pose. And at first I had thought about, no, let that be the first one, Jamal. Let that be the first one. But then I said, no, I ain't going to do data like that. I'm just going to let that be the last one. So, because I know some of you in the Run Tell That family, you're a little confused right now of what just happened. You saw God told me to leave. God told me to leave. But then God said, "Go back in there. You are a warrior." But anyway, so Apostle John Collins, we're gonna ask this question. And I pray to God that you get it right. I'm praying right now. Praying to God that you get it right. What is the best high school in Savannah, Chattanooga County, Georgia, and the world? What is the best high school? Because I want my people to understand what just transpired. What is the best high school?
To be honest with you, Richard Otter High. Jenkins all right, but back in the day, Richard Otter was the school. We looked at Jenkins as just another little school off the rim. But y'all had some pretty good people. But we look overall, I would really rank it like this here. Richard Arnold Beach, Tompkins, Jenkins, Windsor. When you look at the over impact, because really back in the day, we always thought that when you went to Jenkins, you was a little kind of bougie and uppity. But when you were a true black person on the block, you go to Beach or Richard Otter. And even at Savannah High, they was in between, but Jenkins and Windsor Forest, they had, I'm serious. They used to like, the more bougie
you see what Julius Hall did? Julius Hall did put Richard Arnold's ranked number 8. You know what Julius Hall did? See, he put Tompkins first. See, down top, boy. There you go, brother. Apostle Collins going to say that Richard Arnold, then Beach, then Tompkins. Then you might throw Jenkins in there. Then, Lord. This is what I'm talking about.
Well, we put you ahead of Savannah High now. So, now, when it came to academics, you're looking at Jenkins and Windsor. But when you come as an overall high school where you're balling, you got good sports, you got decent academics, you keeping the crowd every weekend when you're doing games. I remember Richard Otter played Jenkins, and they had Prince in the concert, but the game was packed. And I think we gotta, I don't think Jenkins ever beat us. You ever remember Jenkins beating Richard Otter in anything?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Not no basketball.
Oh, Lord.
Because we beat Groover that year.
Oh, Lord.
Because Ronald Butler hit the thing on the buzzer. I don't think Jenkins ever beat us.
Y'all had cheated. They had cheated.
Okay, well, I ain't going to cheat at y'all, Jim. Now, we got Jenkins, man. But you know what? I ain't gonna interrupt our brotherly love because I know you love Jenkins. I mean,
it's all
everybody in Savannah knows that, and I really like the structure how they developed Jenkins. That's what they need, a school that can provide every asset to the community. I know a couple of people that. Whitney Jenkins, who ended up to being good young men and young women. But back in the day, brother, Jenkins was a pretty decent football, basketball team, academics. That's why I say a lot of people would not go to Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
Because it was.
This is from Julius Hall. This is your contract for Hood for the Pulpit. We tearing up your contract When I look to the pulpit, tearing up your contract right now. We tearing it right now. Oh my God. You my homie. You my boy. Who, Lord, see.
But you know, brother, it's good that we can laugh and still be joyous of the institutions that we went to. Because, like I said, a lot of people used to put Richard Honor down, but we had some dedicated teachers who you had to be a tough person to go to all. I'm gonna put it like that.
Right.
Especially with Coach Jenkins, Coach Dully, the late Coach Stevens, and some teachers, man. We even had about 5 white teachers that were committed to the cause.
Yes.
And when they closed the school down, I think it was in 2006, I think, to be exact.
I think it was earlier than that, but yeah.
It was a little earlier than that.
But then they went and sold the property all over the SCAD and all that.
They sold the property to SCAD because but the board was telling us that the school had asbestos in it. You know,
right.
So you see how they sold out. Well, you know, SCAD pretty much controlled the city. But anyhow, you know, back then, even though we were rivalries, we were always friends. You know, because even now with Groove and them, and I remember when I talked to Wade one time, we just used to chop, and that what brought us together. The games, the basketball games, the upper bounds. But now they don't have it as prevalent today because that was one of the issues that we had discussed. When they closed down Wheaton Street Park, that was a connecting point for all the inner city kids. And when they sold out the boys clubs, you know, when the boys club went wherever where they took it, it was a different type of coaches coming in.
Right, it's there, but yeah, you're correct.
You know, the atmosphere changed. The legends that established the legacies at these different areas, the makeup and the mindset of the men who's doing it now, I don't agree with it 100%, but it wasn't the genuinest love. It's now about a particular performance from particular people. Back then with Coach Holmes, everybody got to play, and he gave everybody a fair opportunity. So we talk about, you know, those high schools. We have to give Jenkins their credit because you get an overall student, you get a whole student, and a lot of the schools are like that. But then you have some sports, cheerleading, those are things that are inspiring. And when you get these kids out there, you got to look at the development of the whole child. You know? And I give Jenkins their props, is that their system is not just built for you to go out there and shoot jumpers. It's out there for you to be able to be educated. So if that jumper gets you to the next level, you know how to control your behavior, your mentality, your economical impact, and things of that nature. So, you know, you can congratulate how the makeup of Jenkins have changed for the betterment of the whole student. Because, you know, back then and there, a lot of times the players just played ball, like a lot of the black schools. You know, if you play ball, you know, you got some perks that most students, they do that in college. So, you know, it just the impact. I think my partner's son plays for Jenkins, and he's about to go to Wake Forest. And I said, why are you sending him to Wake Forest? He said, because of the academics. So that goes to show you, we more focused on the full development of our children who are athletes, and even those who are going into the academic arena, is that when you got a high impactful alumni base like Jenkins have, people who will come back and help out, that's what we need in the community.
Right, absolutely.
You know, they set a role model of high standards so that when we come back into the community and don't forget where we come from, then we make an impact. because I know a lot of them done made it and don't want to come back. It's like they hate what developed them to who they are. And that's when we talk about prayer in God, faith and belief, community impact. That's what we lost.
Yes, sir.
Those that come back to the people who helped develop them. I ain't going to say get out like we in a prison, but just to elevate us. Because there's not too many cities like Savannah.
Right.
You know, we got our issues like any other city, but we have enough impactful people in our communities who still care.
Right.
And we had to make that sacrifice to hang around, as the word says, until you could be self-sufficient on your own. And that's what we got to come back and let them see a positive growth from our communities. You know, we had some athletes go and make pros. They don't want to come back. They don't want to put the caps on for the young kids. And that's a tragedy in our community. So now you have some of the great leaders that really made impact in the community. They have gone. So somebody got to grab that torch and keep running with it.
And in fact, there are some right now. Coach Rob DeLoatru's on Ebony Sports Recorders with Coach Julius Hall, Coach Bernard Brown, myself, and Coach Ben Troop. So 27-17, iron sharp as iron. And so Coach Sam Carter, that's what's going on. So creating, and so they have put on camps and they have had folks who've come back to say, hey, we understand because that's what they're taught. So I'll throw something out there to you. What is one of the best seafood restaurants in this area?
In the city?
In this area. You don't have the restaurant?
I'm in South Carolina.
But it's still an area, ain't it? Oh my God. Just want to talk about
it. You want me to tell you something?
What's the name of your restaurant?
You know,
let the people know.
Hey, let me tell you, I'm doing a lot of stuff. Let me show you today. I'm doing a lot of stuff from the house now because I got to get cataract surgery soon. And it kind of had upset me because somebody had responded to one of my snow crab balls. And they would say, oh, I can get that at Linda's for $15. I said, but yeah, 4 weeks ago, Linda's had maggots in their seafood ball. But y'all, see what I'm saying? But that's an issue that I don't like to really get into when it comes to Black businesses versus other races. We get that. But I tell you, a matter of fact, Friday, we're doing oxtail dinners.
So I want people to know how they can get in touch with you because people run and tell that family because we want people to support.
Well, they can call my number, which is 912-417-0525. And I'm doing fun.
Repeat it again because we got a lot of Tompkins people, Savannah High people, Beach people, Johnson people, Windsor Forest, Allen people, Rose people. So repeat the number again slow so they can.
It's 912-417-0525. We're going to do something every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And that's raising funds for us to go to Nigeria in October. So we'll be doing shrimp balls, oxtails, soul food, and seafood. My restaurant, we does seafood, soul food, and Caribbean food.
Where's the restaurant?
And
where's your restaurant?
4401A Caroline Drive. I'm doing a lot of cooking out of my house. Like I said, I'm here for the next 2 to 3 months. Matter of fact, we did the.
Where's Caroline Drive? Where's that at? Because I want the people to know.
It's like coming up the Lessons off of the La Roche. When you come behind Myers and you come to the Lesser, instead of going left or right, you just come across to the apartment community. And I'm right there on the right side, and you'll see the blue tent set up. And we set something, like I said, on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. But we did snow crab balls today, and we did the the big boy seafood salads with the flounder, the swai, tilapia, fried shrimp. And I did that today. So Friday we'll do oxtails, garlic butter shrimp plates, and we do the $10 rib plates all weekend.
And
And
you all heard something. See now, Dada ain't want to let me know because see he think I want to embarrass him. He don't want he going to Africa. He going to Nigeria. Y'all heard he going to Nigeria, but he don't want to take me because he think like Queen Quet all other. They think I'm going to embarrass him if we get outside the country. They think I'm embarrassing him. Yeah. So what you going to be doing in Nigeria? What's your plans in Nigeria?
well, what it is, one of the generals of the Assembly of the Bishops of Africa, he was following my ministry for 5 years, and I told him in July I kick off my 12-city tour, a man after God's own heart. So he said, Apostle, we've been praying for the last 2 years for you to come. So I'm going for 2 weeks to Nigeria, Warri, Liberia, and 3 other towns. And I am to train all the bishops and apostles and the General Assembly of the Christian Alliance in Nigeria. The calling is to bring the churches of Africa together, which I was asking myself for the last month. Why me? I'm just a simple man. But, you know, they think highly of my transparency because I haven't been outside of the country since I was a young man, but the impact of what they're saying, it really making me pinch myself because they're treating it as though I'm chosen by God to bring all the churches in the world together. That's what the prophet told me a month ago. And 3 days later, here come the General Assembly of Africa asking me to come. I'm kind of skeptical because they have a war in Africa. And
it's a continent, but you know, it depends on which country.
Well, I know they said that I'm supposed to have 14 bodyguards. So right now we're taking, I have 2 going with me. Once they send me the itinerary, if you're very interested, and they work out the logistics of things, we'll be leaving in October. The only thing, I have to take the COVID shots before I go. That's the only issue. I ain't worried about that.
And I could go to Africa. I will not be like Julius Hall and drink the communion wine. I don't drink anyway, so you ain't got to worry about me being like Julius Hall and some people from Tommy drink communion wine. I wouldn't be doing nothing like that. You ain't got to sweat that with me.
But you know what? Like I said, if you really want to go, I have to send your information to them. And
right.
And
nobody else on Run Tell That Family. That don't apply to y'all. He just talked to me. He talking to me right now, not none of y'all. So
I tell you what, this is what I saw, Brother Amir, because it's lately, and to be honest with you, it's a challenge because I know when I go and come back, I'm a total different. Everything changes from my spiritual impact because this will be the first time I'll be truthfully obedient about traveling abroad. Right. Because
we got 40 seconds left before, because Julius Hall will shut us down. Your boy Julius Hall will shut us down. We the little brother show, the ATR show. So 30 seconds to throw something out there to let our people know, a word of inspiration to the people, my brother, because we're glad to have you on with us.
I would say this to the people worldwide, and mainly here in Savannah, is that we just got to stop being ignorant. And we got to start understanding the value of life. And we got to stop putting ourselves on a pedestal. We must examine ourselves, and we must make an impact that does not elevate us to greatness, but humble us to God's love for us and the people that he sends us for. I congratulate you, Brother Julius, Sister Johnson, because this is what we need. We need an impactful platform that would empower the people to know that there's hope beyond their brokenness, there's joy beyond their misunderstandings, and there are those who truly have faith in God to give them that love that we all need. I say this with great joy that what you guys are doing is beneficial. And that if you continue to do it, you will see the rewards of your love and patience. And just to say it truthfully, God got you. If you just trust him, he got you.
All right.
That's all I can say. Now they can run and tell that.
That's right. Tell that. And my brother, we appreciate you. Much love to you. We'll definitely be working on From the Hood to the Pulpit, the series. And so again, glad to have you on. Our brother, Apostle John Cosby, Dada in the house. Peace and blessings to the Run Tell That family. We'll see you next week. Peace and blessings.
All right, man. You be blessed.
I like that.